but we have something much, much better today. I have a guest, my first real guest, and I'm really excited about this. Shall I bring, well, I tell you, let me announce her. That's probably the best thing. It is Sandra Rogers. She's author of this incredible book called Inviting the Queen. Um, Sandra Rogers is a licensed marriage and family therapist. She is a psychotherapist and she is a clinical hypnotherapist, life coach, a Reiki master, incredible woman. Consider her a friend, and I'm going to bring her on right now.
Hi,
It
Chuck.
works. This is the first time
It
I've tried this. Hi, Sandra. How are you
Hi.
doing today? You know,
I am fine.
good. As I was saying to you before the show, I am so enthused about this book. I loved it tremendously. We've already done an interview together. We did this on Dr. Whimsy Show, Taco Tuesdays. So we'll just resume where we left off, keep talking. But I guess my first question to you, Sandra, is um, tell us about yourself. Tell us who Sandra Rogers is and what compelled you to write this marvelous book, the message you want to get out to people.
Okay. Thank you, Chuck. Well, you kind of covered who I am with the psychotherapist and the clinical hypnotherapist. There's one other thing that I've done for the last 10 years and loved. I ran a group for gay men at the local LBGT center. Think I got
I
the,
didn't know that about you.
yeah, I don't think I've mentioned it before, and
No,
did
you have.
that as well. I had worked in the AIDS field for 14 years, so I had
Oh,
a large background with working
bless
with
you.
gay men. So
Well,
that was incredibly rewarding. And how did
yeah.
I come to write this book? Is that your question?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I actually wrote my master's thesis on the crone, that fourth, the maid mother crone, the oldest woman,
Yes.
and I loved it, and I wanted to do workshops with women on the crone when I
Yeah.
finished got licensed. And when I started to talk to women about it, they went, "Oh God, no, not the crone. The crone, no, I hate that word."
Yeah,
So I
you touched
spent
upon
20
that in
years
your
trying to
book
figure it out.
because
Then I
your
realized
book,
there was a queen. Hmm?
yeah,
And
yes,
I
you use
realized
the
that there
archetype
was
of the mother. Well, let me
maid.
see. The maiden, correct? The mother,
Mhm.
and then the crone, but you've addressed in your book that there should be another archetype in
Right.
between, and I should let you continue talking, but I just wanted to point that out about the other
Oh, thank
archetypes.
you. Well, the crone, as it was, encompassed about 30 years. That's too long a time for a life stage. So,
Indeed,
and I
especially
saw
the
that
mother.
the queen, something else was there. And I actually had a come to Jesus moment when it flashed in my head. There's something missing, and she's called the queen. And that's why I wrote the book. It
Well,
just actually came to me in a flash. So
indeed.
it's
Well,
kind of,
I think you channeled that.
I think there was a lot of that in the book. I could feel like I was writing it and thinking, oh, I can't wait to see how this ends. So somebody was putting words in my ear.
Indeed. Well, that's the way I work myself, but when I do my own spirit channeling. I mean, it's just amazing the inspiration that comes outside of our conscious mind. I think that's where all genius comes from. And I think what you
Oh,
came up with is ingenious. I was thinking before when you were mentioning about all the negative connotations we have about the crone, I think you mentioned in your book that that used to be something that was a place of honor and reverence. Like crone, isn't that a derivative of crown?
mm-hmm.
Crown
Exactly.
chakra?
Crown, crown being a queen or crown chakra. Yes, absolutely. And just like the word hag came from Hagia Sophia, and it got turned into hag, which is awful. So
Awful.
words go through, they get changed sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, because your book basically addresses the modern woman, hence the queen. Hence, in modern times, we do have negative connotations around the crone, and I think your book helps to reestablish that it's something honorable. But I loved the queen. Please talk about the queen. We could do a whole show just about that.
well, the queen was, I saw her as being an archetype that embodied all the best that women can be as they've matured and are grown up. So I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing my train there. Um, um, oh dear, get me back on track, okay? Oh,
That's the fun thing about doing a live show.
oh, it's fun.
But to me, the Queen, you know why I loved it? Because, I am in, shall I say, I'm in my Queen years also as a man.
Yes.
And so I really loved what you wrote about how this was about recognizing where a woman has come in her life, how she's earned the right to be the queen, how this is it's like the culmination of all of her life experiences up to this point. And you address in your title, Inviting the Queen, literally that, how to bring these in. And you utilize a lot of methods that I love anyway, like journaling, Greek mythology, archetypes, the chakras. Could you please elaborate on that for us?
Well, sure. As a therapist, I mean, my study was at Pacifica Graduate Institute, and they teach Jungian psychology. And there are not a lot of people that study C.G. Jung anymore. But he talks
Yeah.
about archetypes and mythology and brings those all together. And this was my training. It's what I like to do too. So it
Oh,
was easy
well,
to go into that and
I
just
saw that, but
lead
I
the
saw
way.
your passion. Your
Yes.
passion was all throughout the book, and that's one of the things that I resonated with, and it kept me excited, and it kept me wanting to literally keep turning the pages to see where this was gonna go, where it was gonna lead to. But like with Greek mythology, these archetypes have been part of our literature for centuries, and
Yeah.
I thought it was very clever how you found ways to apply that to Inviting the Queen.
Well, it was,
Was there one in particular that resonated with you
oh,
strongly?
the one that resonates with me all the time is the story of Demeter and Persephone. And I do relate that in the book. But
Uh-huh.
a mythological goddess of the harvest, Demeter, lost her
Yeah.
daughter who was picking
Oh,
flowers. And Hades, the god of the underworld, swooped in on his chariot and took her off and took her to the underworld. So
yeah.
Demeter was so devastated, she stopped growing things, and the world was ready to starve. And everyone was praying, oh, please bring the harvest back, we're dying. And she finally
Mm,
was able to presume on Zeus to find out more about where her daughter went. And she did. I won't tell the
mm,
whole story, but it's a
yeah.
lovely story. It tells us about winter, it tells us
Such
about mothers, it tells us about
yes.
maidens, it tells us about grief. It's a very good mythological story.
Oh, exactly. Well, also just the idea of wintertime,
Yeah.
winter, like the winter of our lifetimes. That's such a powerful metaphor.
Yes.
Going to the underworld, the harvest, nurturing, feeding people. Yeah, this is all throughout the book. You talk about chakras. That was a big thing that I loved about your book because I was literally looking for a book like this about the chakras without even knowing, that was going to be within what you wrote. And,
Oh,
you do that through each of the stages and you give a list of ways to utilize these for each of the chakras of the body to bring in the empowerment of the queen. Would you like to discuss that with
oh,
us? Because
yes,
I think you
absolutely.
did a beautiful job of that.
When I started to write the book, I thought, how am I going to describe her without writing a book with nothing but adjectives in it? I mean, that will be boring. So I was looking for a device, and since I take Kundalini yoga and work with the chakras all the time, I thought, what if we show the queen in the chakras and what the chakras mean and how that affects the queen? And so that's what I did throughout the book. And
Oh, yeah.
it was a good device to highlight her in a way that you could kind of catch and see and hold on to. So
Well,
that's how
I
I
just thought it was to me, it was revolutionary. I've never
really.
seen the chocolate used that way. Yes. Yes. Would you say you even channeled that information, or that was based more on your own academic experience and
That
training?
was based on my life experience because I've taken Kundalini yoga and it works
Yes.
with the chakras. So I've been studying them for years and years. And that was
Mm,
just, it just went, oh, the chakras. That's how we can show the queen in all her qualities. So
yeah.
it made the structure. Does that make
Well,
sense?
it makes perfect sense. But I just feel like this book is a culmination of all, again, like you talk about the queen, the culmination of life experiences. Your book is exactly that, the culmination of your education, your experiences, your spirituality, and you just brought it all together in a fascinating way. I've recommended this book to several people
Oh,
already, and there's so much to talk about here. We should get to the fact that you are launching your own YouTube channel, and it's up tonight. Do you want to talk
right.
about that and
Oh,
what you
sure.
are hoping to do with this channel, what you want to achieve, how you want to reach out to people?
Sure. Well,
And your
first of
channel,
all,
by the way, is called Finding the Queen.
well, you and I are sort of siblings of sorts since we both have
Yeah.
Debbie Brady as a manager.
Yes, we
So
do.
we do, and we're lucky. And so that was part of it. But um, wait a minute, you asked me
Well,
you,
I was just asking you about your YouTube
my
channel. You
YouTube
have to
channel.
be really excited about
Oh, I
this. I
am.
just wanna hear what your plans are for it, what you hope
Oh,
to grow it into.
well,
Like, I'm growing my own channel right now.
your channel and mine are a little different in that
Very different, actually.
yours is story and myth of Hollywood and history. Mine, I'm basically promoting my book. And the book was published in 2019. And then right after that, the pandemic happened. So I
Mhm.
really didn't get to market the book. And I always felt badly. And then I met Debbie, we talked, and she said, here's a way you can market your book. And she
Mhm.
suggested I do a YouTube channel and do these little videos about the Queen. And it could expand. We'll see how it grows with time. Um,
Yeah.
but it's really all about the book and it's just little bits
Uh-huh.
and pieces. And so if it
Uh-huh.
interests you, pick it up. That's what it's
I
doing.
can't wait. Now what are you doing? Are you doing like me where you're doing daily videos? Like, just discussing your book, or have you
I'm
or you just tell me, what is your channel? What is
I'm
the
just
structure of it?
I'm just laughing. I haven't done daily videos. Under Debbie's tutelage, I've done a stockpile and I've had a terrible time. They don't teach you
Oh,
this stuff in psychology school. So
no.
so I have finally gotten to where I can make and upload my videos. Fine.
Oh, Debbie
Yes.
and I have had some times. I mean, like screaming matches on the phone.
Yes.
We love each other, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's been, I've had some meltdowns. I will admit to it. I will admit a little bit just before the show because we couldn't get on the air live for about 20 minutes. But you know what? We're working through it, and Debbie has been wonderful with me. I know she's going to be wonderful with you. She's very patient, and she keeps reminding me, look what you've learned.
Yeah.
Look at what you've integrated thus far. And you know something? I just started this 4 months ago, and I look at the body of work I have right now on my channel. I only bring this up for you because I think you're going to be thrilled in similar ways. Like when you look at your channel a month or two from now, and you're going to be like, wow, all this, and you're going to be making relationships with new people. They're
Yeah.
going to be reaching out to you. Already, I've had some of the most wonderful people come to me, and it's just been there's so much love out there.
Oh,
And you're going to find that.
yeah.
You're going to find people grateful to you.
I you
So
know
that's why I was just
I
what you're growing with the channel right now. Um, Tell me, are you planning on a follow up to
I am.
Follow the Queen?
I
I
am. And
ask
I
you
was
this.
actively
Tell
working on it. Um I think it's only fair to finish out the maid, mother, and crone and do the crone. I'll call her something else, elder woman or something like that. But I've been doing the
okay.
research for aging because the queen is not old. She's I don't know, 50s, 60s, something like that, maybe 70s. But the crone is getting into her 80s and 90s, and that time is coming for me. So I'm always curious. So
Yeah.
I'm researching the crone and what aging
Okay.
is like, and finding some fabulous, interesting things, and things
That's
are
magnificent.
changing with how old people are being viewed in the
Well,
country.
I have to ask you this. I wasn't aware you were doing this, because, the queen is about the culmination of empowerment at that point of life. Are you going to branch out the crone in similar ways where you're going to show how the crone is empowered? And
Yes.
really, it's like the third act, the big finale of our lifetimes where we're heading, and it should be the biggest of all.
Well, yes, I see that that could happen because there is so much about getting older. As someone else said, we get older, we don't age. Everything ages, but we do get older. And as one gets older, there are lots of changes. It's kind of like puberty in reverse. Nobody
Yes.
explains it to you. And
I have often thought about aging that way,
you too?
puberty in reverse.
Yeah.
It's where all these things start happening to your body, but they're not so nice this time.
No,
Or
you're going,
maybe they are.
yeah.
I shouldn't say that. Well, it was what would you think of the title "Embracing the Crone"?
Oh, I like that. Oh, I
Isn't
like
that
that.
great?
Yes.
I know we need to wrap up in a moment here, but one of the things I said to you, and one of the answers I was hoping you were going to give there is I said to you, I wish you would write a book for men. I don't know if you would call it The King or what, but I'm in that age range. That's why I resonated with it. There are a lot of men like me who would love a book like this where you do a similar thing with Greek mythology, archetypes, literature, and of course history.
Yeah.
And of course, I realize the history of the way men have treated women is not
Mm.
necessarily so good, but nonetheless, that is our history, that is our background, and it all culminates now. And I hope very much you adapt this for men.
Well,
I just want to put a little idea in your head. Um, but Debbie, pardon me, I called you Debbie. Sandra, hey, it's live,
it's
folks.
like,
Um, what are the best ways to find your book and contact you?
okay.
And also to find your channel,
Oh,
because we want to promote that, make sure people see it.
my channel is called Inviting the Queen. It's on YouTube, and
Uh-huh.
that's easy. You can find my book on Amazon, and that's easy. And the
That's
third question was get in touch with me. Go to my website, Sandra Rogers, LMFT, and
okay.
.com, and you'll see my website. There's all kinds of information about my services and what I provide and how to reach me. So
Okay.
I'm not hard to.
Sandra, anything you'd like to say in closing before I let you go? Because I want to get your message out there. Is there
Okay.
anything we haven't covered that was important?
I think one of the things that's really important is I'm kind of living the second book. I lived the first one. And you know what?
Uh-huh.
We really can make our lives what we need and what we want. And in a way, this is what I'm telling people. You don't have to grow old and gray and sit in a corner. There are so many other
Exactly.
ways to be an older person.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
no,
Forgive
that's
me.
okay.
I was just going to
Anyway,
say that your book is available as a paperback.
right.
It's available in paperback. Is it available as Kindle on Amazon?
Yes, it's available as Kindle.
Okay, good. I just want to know that.
So, yeah. And
Okay.
it's good for both.
All right.
Uh,
Excellent. Well, Sandra, it would make a wonderful gift
oh,
for the holidays coming up. We
great
should
gift.
suggest
Yes,
a
I do.
fabulous gift. Yeah.
I have a
Well,
video coming
Sandra,
up.
Sandra, I just want to thank you so much. I consider you a friend now, and it's just a privilege to talk to you. And I thank you for being my very first guest
I'm
on my
honored.
show. This is only my fourth show I've ever done, and this is the first time we've ever tried this. And you've been so gracious to put up with all of our technical bugs and things. But thank you very much for being
Thank you,
here,
Chuck. It's
and
been
I
a
just wish you
delight.
so much success with your
Yeah,
channel.
thank you.
So